Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The decks and dice I'm using are going to be listed below. And of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your choice. Thank you. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? Dun dun dun. Or dun dun dun. Okay, dun dun dun. Okay. Okay, we'll see. What is happening? It just keeps going. How far are we going with this? I think we're there. There's a lot of cards out of here. It's just... what is happening is a great question. One more? We didn't get very many Oracle cards, but we got a lot of Tarot cards. There's been changes happening for the longest time. Whatever the subject is we're dealing with, you have a lot of value in the situation. There's a lot here that you very much care about. There's a lot here you'd like to see happen. But it's changing. And you care about a lot, and you have a lot of possibilities here, but like there's choices that are coming. And I feel like I've known this. Sagittarius, very dynamic, very dynamic energy, can do a lot, but you do have your limits. Sag has this pattern usually of getting in way too deep to way too many things, and then possibly having a burnout, and then having to kind of pull it all back, and then going back into this pattern, building it up, and then it's like, it seems like I've seen this with a few Sagittarians. Take it with a grain of salt. If I'm off, I'm off. But something is changing. The information is trying to come your way. It has been trying to come your way. I feel like I've been trying to slow it down. I've been trying to keep everything. But I just don't... The reason I think I've started off with that is because I can't really keep everything and keep it at the level I need it to be. It's kind of like I can take 7 courses in a semester, just for argument's sake, but I'm just going to barely pass them. If I take 4 courses, I will pass them with flying colors, if that makes sense. You know, 4 major courses where I have to look into them and research them and do all the work. If I take 7, I'll pass them barely. If I take 4, I'll pass them stellar. I will be head of the class. And there's this need to downsize that seems to be very stressful. This readings are for entertainment purposes only. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to do anything, clearly. But I'm getting the stress is building, and the longer I go without downsizing, the more it becomes painful. It's becoming more and more chaotic. I feel like my life is becoming more and more out of balance. And it's kind of like life is trying to help get you into balance. And it seems like I have these moments where things are good, but then when I least expect it, something falls apart. It throws everything off. There's too many things here to balance. Too many things here to balance effectively and succeed at them. This reading hopefully is empowering in the sense of like, if you can see what's coming, it'll help you empower yourself and make choices before you're kind of painted into a corner over it, till you're backed into a corner over it, should I say. Before that happens, they're like trying to give you a heads up. So if this reading is hitting, it's not making it happen. It's trying to give you a heads up before you get backed into that corner, see it coming so you can make an effective decision. So instead of things just falling away and you just see what you're left with, You actively make a decision and move things where you need to, and maybe tie up some loose ends if you feel like that's appropriate. I don't want to give up anything. I keep looking at it like that. Like, I don't really want to give up anything. I love it all. I just can't effectively do it all. I want all 7 things. I just can't effectively do all 7 things. I have to give up 3. Or just suffer the consequences of holding everything and knowing it didn't really work out as best as it could have. The stress is there. I want to keep everything. I keep getting that. Possibilities come your way. Things could morph. So, this is a weird analogy, but it's kind of like I can't take all 7 courses. But it's kind of like it's reminding me of college. Like, I remember, I don't know, you take X amount of courses during the main semester, and then sometimes during like the winter break, you can take one abbreviated course. I don't remember what they called them, but it's like there would be like every day it was like 3 hours in this course, and it would go like for like, I want to say like 6 weeks. I don't remember if it was that long, but it was like, it was very intense. But you could get that course credit. You would just have to constantly be doing it. And then in the summer, you'd have another couple chances to do that again. So there's ways to kind of like work around the situation and not completely lose everything. But it's like, that's another thing where if you actively see it and you actively make choices, you might have that option, but without embracing it and looking at it. And I just feel like I did a cancer reading about this where I kept saying, it's not about liking it. It's about embracing it and having the ability to choose and decide what you want. By embracing it, things go better and you have more advantage to let it be what you want it to be. If you don't embrace it, it's kind of like what was left over, what actually just kind of survived the carnage, if you will. So there can be possibilities here where I don't have to lose everything, but the connection will be different and diminished in certain aspects for sure. By embracing it, I have different opportunities. And that's a lot. There's a lot of value here, but it's embracing that things have to change and the way they're going isn't working. And finding like, all right, I don't really want to hand over the reins on this, but it's out of these 7 things, 3 of them I need to. I may be able to still stay connected, but I have to hand over the reins to somebody else in some aspect, or this is not going to work. The death card is a change. It doesn't have to mean the end. It could. It doesn't have to. It definitely means a change in the death of like how you used to do it versus how you do it in the future, but it doesn't have to mean a complete ending. It's a change. It's a notable change. It depends on how it hits for you. It's a notable change. Going forward, there are conflicts happening here. Why? What's going on? I need my glasses for this one. Okay. Judgment reversed. 4 of Cups out of balance. And by out of balance, it's coming in like that. 5 of Wands. Conflict is coming into this situation. Conflict is definitely coming in. This is one of the things that's going to kind of really shake things up. There's conflict coming. At least one of the 7 things. Like I'm using 7 as an example. Like 7, you can replace that with several things, whatever. At least one of those things is going to have a big conflict. And I feel like it gets out of my control. It's out of my control. Things are happening the way they're happening. And there's some misinformation kind of looming around the situation. This is going to be the catalyst that's going to give you this opportunity, kind of like before you lose things, this is your moment to like redecide, because this is going to be one of the last times you get a chance to decide for yourself before things just kind of turn out the way they turn out. Something is changing here. Conflict is happening around the situation. A choice needs to be made. whatever this situation is, like I keep getting I get the option of 7 things, 7 needing to go down to 4. I mean, it's an analogy, you know, don't take it literally if it doesn't fit for you, but you know what I mean, it's an analogy. I feel like whatever this thing is, I've been connected but not fully connected to it for a while now, and I have a choice that I have to make really quickly. I can either kind of like step back and just see how it shakes out, which is going to be kind of like the situation deciding for you what you will and won't keep from it, which I don't really feel the best about. If that's what you feel you need to do, you need to do. Or the other option is to like step back in full force, which I feel like you have done in the past. Maybe you don't really want to, but it's kind of like to have the control of the situation so you can decide how you want it to kind of pan out, how you want it to kind of evolve going forward. Maybe accepting you're not going to have the strong connection you've had before, but it's like if you step in full force and hold it together, stabilize what's not right, sniff out what the misinformation is and put that in proper perspective, kind of like, no, I know what you're saying, but this is what's happening and this is the proof. I know what you think happened, but here's the proof of what actually happened. So let's kind of nip that in the bud and leave that where it is. Getting actively connected to it for a moment. I don't think it's going to be a long moment, but I feel like I have to get back into it. It might be like a week or two where I feel like I'm fully enforced in it, fully connected with it again. That will stabilize it and it give you a moment. But after that happens, they're saying that's where you really got to decide for yourself. Is this going to be one of the 7 things? Is this going to be one of the 4 I want full force in my life, or do I not have room for that? Are there 4 other things that are more important than this? And it's kind of like stepping back, and it's literally something you have to do by yourself. You may have great people around you that understand you and help you work things out, but for this one, this is something they're saying you have to decide for you. You have to take the time to decide for yourself. What is this going to be? Is this right? Is this not? What do I actually want? What do you want from it? Something you need to decide for yourself. If you do that, if you're willing to do that, once you make up your mind, and I just feel like I have to sort it out and go through my mind a few times what I really want from it, the tension will go down and you'll do what you need to do to change the situation. You'll make the decision and you'll do what you need to do. It doesn't seem like it takes that much once you've made up your mind what you want. It just seems to naturally happen. It doesn't seem to be that difficult. The difficult part is to decide what you want it to be and making peace with like, all right, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to hand it over to this person, or vice versa. I am going to pull this back in full force again, but there's something else I'm going to have to let go of. It's kind of, I'm using that analogy of 7 things. This is part of this desert period, which I was showing here just a second ago. It's looking at all 7 things and going, all right, I have to put them in order, most important to least important. And it's better if I accept, it's better if I accept that there's only 4 of these I can keep. So I have to kind of look at it in that sense. It's better if I look at it in that sense. I keep saying the word have to. I hate that I'm doing that. It's more effective if I look at it in that sense and I realize there's 3 I need to let go of. And it might be what helps you decide is like, what 3 things can survive effectively without me? That might be part of what you do. That may be part of how you decide. But it definitely, once you've made up your decision, it seems like it doesn't take that much. It just naturally happens. Your energy just naturally links up and does what it needs to do. There is support around you. People will help you do what you feel is next. That does seem to go forward. There does seem to be the support here. There will be some sadness because letting go of certain things, that is hard. That is hard to let go of certain things, especially like once you've made the decision and it does move on in a different way without you, at least not the way it used to. It is hard because it's like, I don't feel that connection anymore, and then I start to miss it. And it is a little sad. There will be a little grieving with that. This is why I feel like if this reading is hitting, you've been avoiding that, probably because you knew that was coming. And it's a hard thing to go through. But it will pass, and your energy will come back up, and those 4 things that you kept will thrive, and you'll do great with those 4 things. Again, that's an analogy. It doesn't have to mean there's actually 7, but you get the point. You can't keep everything and thrive with it. The things you decided you were able to keep and thrive with, you're going to have a great time with those. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we're going to make it really simple, maybe, you know, you have a cooking business, you have a daytime job, you have, you know, another organization you're helping outside of that, and then you have family obligations and you have friend obligations. Who knows what else you got going on? It's just realizing I have to get rid of some of these things. Which ones are most important to me? Which ones do I really want to keep? Realizing I can't keep everything and live a healthy life. And once you let them go, the ones you did keep will thrive and they will fill your life the way you need them to. The energy is understanding after the decisions are made. Once you've made your decision and you made it clear, the energy seems to go forward. Whoever needs to step forward steps forward. It seems to be once you've let go, you've let go. I don't feel like there's a reversible decision here. Once I've actively completely made the decision, it is what it is, and it's done. Somebody else will take forward as they need to take forward. I feel like I'm talking about like a position on like a football field or something, or I don't know. Is that soccer? I don't know what that is, but somebody else will take the lead on that, and it'll move on. I just don't feel like it's reversible. I also get that too. Once the decision is made, I don't feel like it's really reversible. This reading hopefully is an empowering one, and it's just meant to show you, like, by actively embracing it, it's not enjoyable to go through it, but the outcome will be fine. The outcome will be enriching. The outcome will be pleasurable once it's all gone through. There's a whole process you got to go through for this. I do feel like if you decide not to actively participate in embracing it, the decisions are made on their own and you're just left with what you're left with. And I don't feel comfortable with that, but it's just part of the reading. They're saying you can actively choose. You get a better outcome by actively choosing and sorting it out. By just seeing what's left and just dealing with whatever's left, whatever falls in your lap, I just don't feel good about it. So you got to do what's right for you. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.